Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining me today. Maybe you're getting a little break from the kids. That summer school break is in full swing, isn't it? Today, we're talking about giving back to the community, getting involved, and celebrating diversity. This month, there's a big push for HIV testing, and it's free in several places. We'll tell you about that coming up. But first, we're happy to have a district governor with Rotary International. Go to the Rotary website, and you see a simple statement. Rotary is where neighbors, friends, and problem solvers share ideas, join leaders, and take action to create lasting change.
What better way to celebrate the centennial of the Rotary Foundation than for Rotarians to come together from every Rotary club in the world?
We've made so many new friends and learned about their projects and how we might be able to collaborate on. It's just been fabulous.
I make my holiday once every year, and Rotary gives me the opportunity to visit different parts of the world.
It's amazing to see all the countries that are represented here.
And I invite Rotary members from around the world to the city of Atlanta for the 2017 Rotary Convention. Atlanta is known as the City of Peace, home to two centers honoring Nobel Peace Prize recipients, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Jimmy Carter. I'm certain this convention will be memorable, and I encourage you to take advantage of all the City of Atlanta has to offer.
On behalf of the state of Georgia, we'd like to welcome you to the Gateway to the South. Discover our historic architecture. Experience the wonder of the Appalachian Trail. Take in the beauty of our beaches.
Pam Lightsey is one of the busiest women I know in Augusta. She's a member of Rotary International, the Augusta South Rotary Club, and is currently district governor, getting ready for a big international convention of Rotarians this month in Atlanta. And there you see Pam with other district governors. I guess, Pam, you all are the Georgia group?
We are. We are the 3 district governors from Georgia. And we have a big party that's going to be taking place right here in our state.
It is so exciting because you were explaining to me that it's been 100 years since the founding, the start of the foundation, and that was in Atlanta.
Right. So in 1917, they started the Rotary International Foundation in Atlanta. It was $26.50 that was left over from a previous convention. And they started the foundation with $26.50, and now we're over $1 billion in our foundation.
That is fantastic.
So
that's fantastic.
We're calling it 100 years of doing good in the world.
You know, and I think that's important for people who may not be that familiar with Rotary. You're a service club.
Correct. I like to call us a people organization. Mm-hmm. And so we do things. 64 clubs within our district. We've got over 12,000 Rotarians in the state of Georgia, and they're all volunteers.
And you focus on a lot of different areas and different needs in the community, whether it's maternal, newborns,
correct,
education, hunger.
Right. So we've got 6 areas of focus, and you're bound to find something, definitely, that is a passion in your heart for one of those 6 areas of focus.
Certainly, it's been a passion for you. How long have you been involved in Rotary?
So I started in Rotary in 2003 and 4 was my first year, and it was because my mom, I was hospitalized with pancreatitis, not expecting to walk out of the hospital, when my mom did a makeup at my home club. And so she wanted me to get involved in the community. I've always been involved in church and doing things with church, but she says I need to spread my wings just a little bit. So here I am, not many years later, serving in a role.
You have been, I mean, you hand your cards out to people all the time. Absolutely. Because you are passionate about what Rotary does and the impact that it makes, not just in our community, but around the world.
Absolutely. So we not only do community service right here in Augusta and around our community, but we also partner with Rotary clubs from around the world. So there are 540 districts, approximately 540 districts around the world. There's over 200 countries. And so we have 167 of those countries that will be coming, represented in Atlanta.
This month, and you're going to have some fantastic speakers, including, you told me, Bill Gates.
Bill Gates will be with us. Ashton Kutcher is going to be with us to celebrate and be on a panel to end human trafficking, so we're a big piece with that.
Yeah.
And then Jack Nicholas, he's a polio survivor, and so one of our areas of focus is health, and so we're putting an end to polio. We started that in the 80s, and now we're down to 3 countries.
And you just did a polio walk.
We did. So to kind of bring things home, our Rotary International president is from Chattanooga, Tennessee. And so the End Polio Torch started with Rotarians in his home club and came across the border into Georgia. And then the 3 district governors on Sunday met in Atlanta to each bring it in a mile and a little bit closer to the World Congress Center.
That is really exciting. Such a big build up to this international event that will be fantastic. Well, I told you Pam is one of the busiest women that I know, and Rotary isn't all that she does. She has a job, a paying job.
I do.
Where she works, but she's also involved in Columbia County Republican Women, and that group meets on a regular basis. And we got an interesting press release about a guest that's going to be coming up in June, and I recognized her name, and it's your mother.
It is my mom, so I'm really excited. Mom is flying out.
And your mom's a senator.
She is Majority Whip and a senator for the state of Arizona, and she is coming out to join me for our celebration in Atlanta as district governor, and I thought it would be nice. We usually meet the second Thursday of every month, but since we just had our state convention this past weekend, we decided to give a week in between and move it one more week out.
Right.
So when we close up in Atlanta on the 14th, we'll be coming back to Augusta on the 15th. And Mom will be our speaker at our Columbia County Republican Women's meeting.
We have a full screen to show you so you'll know the date of this event and a phone number that you can call. It's the Columbia County Republican Women's meeting coming up Thursday, June the 15th, 6 p.m. at Formosa's over there on Washington Road. Arizona Senator Gail Griffin will be the very special speaker. And if you want more information, you can call 706-925-5333. Is it fun for you to watch your mom in her role and when she does speak to groups like this?
It is. It's neat. I have made it so far to every opening session at the beginning of the year. And so it's nice to see exactly what our legislators do behind the scenes and how busy they are. She has a unique role this last year as Majority Whip, so she has a lot more probably on her plate. She's held at least 5 committees while she's been doing her work at the State Senate. And it's interesting. Definitely have learned a different side of my mom, other than just being a mom and a daughter role, but she's my role model, definitely.
I think that's great when we can talk about our mothers that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel the same way about my mom, and it's nice when it's someone that we can look up to and be proud of, and also to see that she continues to thrive and continues to have an active role in her journey as she, goes on through life. She's not sitting around just knitting or
she has never
watching soap operas.
She's never been one to just sit around. And so people ask me why I do what I do and how I do it. Yeah. And I have no choice but to. It's in the DNA.
It's in the DNA.
And so as I made my visits for my official visit, I always said, I'm in this role because of my mom.
Yeah.
And this is her cell number. So if you have any problems, call her and blame her. But she's absolutely wonderful.
Well, I'm sure that Senator Gail Griffin is very proud of you as her legacy.
Yes.
And thank you for what you do in our community.
Thank you.
And have a wonderful time at the big event in Atlanta with Rotary, and then a great meeting with the Republican women in Columbia County.
Absolutely.
Thanks a lot, Pam Lightsey, for being here.
Thank you.
Still ahead on Jennie, several local organizations are making sure you know your status when it comes to HIV and AIDS, how you can get tested for free. Next. June is Pride Month. The Augusta LGBT community has partnered with several organizations to make sure you know your status when it comes to HIV and AIDS. Augusta Pride and the Ryan White program will be hosting several free testing events throughout the CSRA during the month. The Ryan White program was first enacted by Congress in 1990 to help address the unmet health needs of people living with HIV and AIDS. The program also funds health care and support services with the goal of getting people into care. Dr. John Rissing is a professor of medicine at Augusta University. He says he believes HIV is still an epidemic due to the large number of people still being diagnosed every year.
There's no question that the population at greatest risk are the relatively young gay males. And if you're in a population that has some form of high-risk behavior, which includes a large number of us humans, then it's very reasonable that you should be tested.
Yanza Collins is with the Department of Public Health here in Georgia. And Yanza, the Ryan White program addresses the needs of people living with AIDS and living with HIV. The program also funds services to help people get the help and the care that they need. And you know a lot about that from your work here in town.
I actually work with the Georgia Department of Public Health under the Ryan White State Match program. So I get to see and work with individuals every day who are living with the virus, who are underprivileged, underinsured. And what the Ryan White Project does, like you said, it tries to target those individuals who just don't have that assistance.
Right. Right. And, you know, the Ryan White story goes back to the early 80s. Well, the whole AIDS epidemic, you know, when we first, in my mind, I always think about Rock Hudson because he was the first high profile person, you know, who we learned had AIDS. And that was, of course, when everybody assumed AIDS was just a gay disease, just a disease with gay men. I think it's a little bit disheartening, though, to hear that all of these decades later, young gay men are still such an at-risk population.
Yes, it's so unfortunate. What the CDC posted relatively recently, yesterday as a matter of fact, 1 in 2 African American men who sleep with men and bisexual men will be infected in their lifetime. So that's 50% in comparison to 1 in 11 for Caucasian men who sleep with men who also identify as bisexual, and 1 in 99 for just Americans in general.
You know, it's interesting that the race is such a big part of that. And I know that there are programs right here in Augusta like She Prevails to help spread that word and make sure that people know and that they know their status.
And again, part of my job as a case manager, in addition to I'm a public health educator. So a lot of people are unaware that the Georgia Department of Public Health has a program locally here that goes out and does education. We do testing. Anywhere you need us to be, that's what we'll be.
Do you ever talk to youth groups, young people, different kind of programs like that you offer?
We do. We have a lot of requests from church members, church groups that want us to come out and do some education with their youth, some of their youth members. I literally, before we did this interview, got a request to do some education with a group of girls between the ages of 9 and 13. So we do go out and do education because they are infected as well. What I recently read, in addition to the 1 in 2 African American men, is that 1 in 5 are diagnosed between the ages of 13 and 24.
Goodness. If you don't get to them early, their chances of contracting this are just so much greater.
Right.
It's important to show and to talk about some of the free testing that will be done this month. We have a couple of screens to pull up for you. Free testing going on through June. Towards the end of the month, Friday, June 23rd, Saturday, June 24th. You see the dates there on your screen, from 6 until 10 p.m. Friday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday. That's going to be going on at Augusta Common in conjunction with the Pride Festival. And then on Sunday, the 25th of June, from 2 p.m. until 6 p.m. at the Payne Hill Complex. That's an important one too to have right there at that community. And you can also take advantage of free testing at Walgreens. That's coming up Tuesday, June 27th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. 2 stores doing that, Riceboro Road and Peach Orchard. And then on Wednesday, the 28th of June from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Peach Orchard Road store. Tell us just a little bit about what that kind of testing involves.
What we do is the OraQuick rapid test. So it's literally a mouth swab of the gum line, and you get your results in 20 minutes.
Long ago, you used to have to wait.
Draw blood and wait 2 weeks.
Right, right. So people can know very fast, and this is an opportunity to get tested free. Yanza, please don't go anywhere, because after the break, we're going to talk a little bit more about one of the big Pride events coming up in Augusta, and that's the Augusta Pride Festival. We'll show you that right after this break.
How much is the competition?
Welcome back, everyone. The Augusta Pride Festival is one of the largest festivals in the state of Georgia, with thousands celebrating along Broad Street and at the Augusta Common. News Channel 6's Ann Maxwell takes us to the Pride Festival of 2016.
A colorful crowd descended on the Augusta Common to celebrate LGBTQ Pride in a safe place where they could strut their stuff. It's Augusta's first Pride Week since members of the gay community were massacred in Orlando. The huge crowd that turned out and temperatures approaching 100 degrees showed solidarity.
It is very hot right now, but it's a good event and it's bigger than last year, and we're sort of seeing that in all of our Prides post Orlando, that the turnout is bigger and the support is heavier.
Especially with what happened in Orlando. And we were kind of nervous to come out at first, but a lot of people told us that you shouldn't hide just because of that thing.
On the flip side, the LGBTQ community says they still have a long way to go.
After marriage equality, some people sort of thought the movement was done, but there's still so much we need to do.
A gay-straight alliance at Augusta University is still recovering after vandals smeared one of their campaigns this past October.
We wrote reaffirming sidewalk messages with chalk, and then the next day we came back on campus and people crossed them out, put hurtful words and everything, and it was not a good day.
Whatever negativity may be out there, Augusta Pride countered it with a day of acceptance, celebration, and joy.
We're just people like you. We're no different. Love is love.
Yanza Collins is with us now, and we are going to continue talking about, well, the importance of HIV testing and how at a big event like the Pride Festival, you're set up right there.
Right there. We'll be offering free testing June 23rd, which is around the time they're going to be doing Beats on Broad, which starts at 8 o'clock, but we'll actually be there at 6. So we'll be doing testing from 6 until 10 p.m. that evening.
And that's the Friday night event that kicks off
event.
The whole festival, the Beats on Broad.
Yeah. Followed by the parade. The parade is a big thing, and it's so much fun. People should come. It starts at 10:30.
On Saturday.
I'm sorry, June 25th. So we'll be there starting at 10 a.m. doing testing until 2 p.m. And the festival itself actually starts at 11 a.m.
Okay. Okay. And so the Pride Festival is the 23rd and the 24th, that Friday and Saturday. And one of the other things that's really a whole lot of fun is just that you have so much entertainment, and you have all kinds of people. You know, it's just it's a very neat group because it's gay people, it's straight people, it's just a big festival.
I'm glad you mentioned that because it's very family oriented. We were there last year, and there were plenty of families out there with their kids, babies in strollers. So again, as they always say, it's always about love. Love conquers all.
That's kind of like what the young guy said in the story that we just watched. Love is love. Yeah. We have seen this festival now. This is maybe the 5th or the 6th.
Yes.
How has it grown over the years?
Just participation. As you saw in the previous sketch, there's a lot of vendors out there. The city comes out in support. So as it continues to grow, so will the people. And it's culture. It's everyone. It's not just for African Americans. It's just not for Hispanics. It's for everyone. So it continues to grow, and we'll just continue to see the support amongst one another.
Augusta does have so many festivals, and this is one of the big ones. We'll see the flags going up.
All the rainbow flags. And
That's
the purple. Right. We matched today, the purple.
Yeah, the purple. Well, Yanza Collins, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
And we certainly will continue to get the information out about the testing throughout the month, and good luck with the Pride Festival.
Thank you.
Up next on Jennie, the Augusta Author Series is getting ready to welcome Mary Alice Monroe for a luncheon and chat. Details on how you can meet the popular writer when we come back.
Hi.
New York Times bestselling author Mary Alice Monroe is coming to the Garden City later this month as part of the Augusta Author Series luncheon presented by realtor Kelly Brands. The award-winning writer will be discussing her new novel, Beach House for Rent, the final book in the Beach House series. It's coming up Tuesday, June 27th at Abel Brown Southern Kitchen and Oyster Bar in Surrey Center. Doors open at 11:30 and a 3-course lunch will be served at noon. Limited seating provides an intimate experience with the author. In addition to 3 creative courses created by Chef Todd Schaefer, the bar will feature specialty cocktails and wines. Tickets are limited and you can purchase them online. The price is $62, which includes lunch and a signed, personalized hard copy of the book, or lunch with no book is $36. That's all our time today. Thanks to my guests, Pam Lightsey and Yanza Collins. You can double check the dates for the dinner with Senator Gail Griffin and the dates for free HIV testing and the big Pride Weekend events on our website, WJBF.com. Feel free to send me any ideas you have for stories or events you'd like to see us cover. And be sure to like the Jennie WJBF Facebook page. Find past segments on our website. Just click the Jennie link. I hope you'll have a wonderful afternoon, everyone, and I'll see you next Tuesday at 12:30 for Jennie.